Welcome to the Straight Up, No Bullshit, the Don Hansden Show. Our hosts are going to push the limits, but create an environment where it's safe to uncover the crap that holds you back so you can survive the mediocrity of today's life. And they'll be admitting and revealing their own experiences so you can learn the skills and attitude you need to be who you are. No bullshit. Warning to all listeners, if you have thin skin and get offended easily by harsh, direct, or somewhat offensive content and language, then this podcast may be overwhelming. However, we believe pulling your blinders off and viewing things from a real perspective may feel invigorating and may be the very thing that may cause you to expand your capabilities exponentially. Now here's your hosts, Don and Marcus.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Straight Up No Bullshit. We are so glad you are here. Yes, we are not going live. We are re-recording this stuff so that way we can bring you the best quality as the feedback that's given to us from our listeners and our viewers. So, Don, Sal, how's it going, my friends?
Hello, gentlemen. Things are going well.
Going great, yeah.
Excellent. Well,
good.
The one place that's not going great is in California, specifically LA.
Yes.
California has fallen and LA has fallen, and that's the title of this episode, because right now the wildfires in Los Angeles, Hollywood, a new wildfire. I think there's been 4 or 5 of them. I think they're up to 6 now.
Yeah,
is taking up Hollywood Hills and has killed at least 5 people and destroyed hundreds of homes, and over 100,000 residents have been ordered to evacuate because of the flames being too out of control. I know the Palisades fire has consumed 15,000 acres and over 1,000 structures, while the Eaton fire has burned 10,000 acres, both causing significant damage, estimated between $52 and $57 billion. Not to mention the air quality is going down. And, but of course, Joe Biden has pledged his assistance during this Santa Monica fire station visit. Quote unquote, we'll do anything and everything as long as it takes to control these fires. Okay, there you go. So what are your thoughts, guys?
Well, first thing I'm going to say, what kind of pisses me off is, the California is by far the most liberal state, right? It's got all these people that are completely just destroying that state. You got Gavin Newsom,
yep.
Right? That's where Camilla was from. I don't know what her title was. Pelosi, you got that mayor, all these people that are destroying the state and trying to make everybody believe into this Green New Deal and how everything's gone bad. And our government, our woke government, is going to bail every single penny out for this state. And now you had all these floods and all this terrible stuff in North Carolina,
mm-hmm.
and they still haven't gotten any fucking
in Hawaii.
relief. Like
let's not
in
forget
Hawaii, they torched that down. The hurricanes in North Carolina and
Florida,
and they're not getting any relief. They're not getting any help. Now this has gone on, okay, and I'll give you a perspective on it. But what pisses me off is these other states. They're not doing anything for them. What do you get? $700? Okay.
maybe.
So anyways, that's what pisses me off. Sal, what do you got to say about this thing?
Well, basically on that, the one thing we're forgetting, well, first of all, was reported today that they had a meeting this morning. Gavin Newsom and all the politicians out there, the governor and everything in California, they had a meeting on how to raise money. They want to raise a few $1 million to start funding lawsuits day one against Trump and his policies. They had that meeting and they're putting money aside to fight the lawsuits for Trump. And the other thing that people are forgetting,
while his state is burning to the ground.
Right. That's his fault. Well, he came out and quoted, "This is not a time for blame." That was his quote today, the governor, which I completely disagree with. I think there is blame. But the thing we're forgetting, and Don, I agree with you. Yes, the government's going to have to bail them out, but Biden's not going to be the president. So Newsom better watch what he's saying and what he's doing, because he's slamming Trump right now, and all that they're trying to do in a month or so, he's going to have to go knock on the door and say, "Excuse me, we need money. We need a bailout." Now, I'm sure Trump's going to help him, but I bet Trump's going to put some stipulations on that. Like, You got to get rid of this water stuff and stop, the process of trying to save the rare smelt, which is what this. There's just so much about it, but that ties into what you just said.
And what's interesting about all this stuff, everyone just thinks, natural disaster. That's what people think, okay? I'm the opposite. I know that there's so much collusion going on, but even the river and the waterways that were originally designed for California, they had more fresh water in that state than anywhere else. They rerouted that to the ocean so they could play this thing, so they could get everybody very extremely liberal, like the climate change, and there's and we can't grow crops, so let's go get some genetically modified meat by Bill Gates, and we got to drive electric cars because gas is destroying the ozone because the air is so bad, and on and on and on. Well, maybe the air is bad because you're burning down the state, okay? It wasn't some guy threw a cigarette out the window and the whole state started on fire.
I will tell you this though, it's been proven. It's on PBS, and I'll pull up the clip here where I can say it. That it was asked, and this was just recently, what causes the most fires in California? 95% of them are caused by user error, by people. It's not. This is not earthquake. This is not some act of God or hurricane, and we've talked about that as maybe those aren't even acts of God either. But the fact of the matter is 95% of the fires that occur in California are because of users.
And they're not allowed to clean up any of the dead trees or the brush because the environmentalists don't want it cleaned up. So you got kindling all over.
TQ pet projects, and you are captured by environmentalists. We have been warning for years that you are worried about abstractions, but you can't do the basic stuff. You can't do the basic necessities of government. Like have a fire hydrant that works during a fire. Like being able to clean up the brush to make sure that fires do not consume your entire city. What is happening right now in California is apocalyptic. This is some of the worst fires we've ever seen. Peachy, I don't want to overly politicize this, but honestly, we have to because it's one party rule. The state government is controlled by Democrats. The county government is controlled by Democrats. The city government is controlled by Democrats. They are unprepared. They didn't listen to our warnings. For years, we've been telling these people, there's going to be a major fire breakout, and the environmentalists are preventing brush cleanup.
They're the ones who start the fire. I don't know if you remember 3 or 4 years ago, Bel Air burned down, where the 405 comes through by the Getty Center. That almost burned down because of a homeless encampment right there in that valley. And so it's just these stupid policies. They don't clear the brush. Having no water in Pacific Palisades, which is one of the most expensive zip codes in the world, is actually that's criminal. That's attempted murder, to be frank.
Well, you ask any fireman, and I've dealt with this before. You can have a fireproof safe. Anything will burn if it's hot enough. If it gets hot enough, so a tree, even though it has a lot of water in it, Don, that will burn in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but how do you get it started? A match? A match going to start it?
I can't
attest to.
Yes.
I've thrown matches on gasoline and it doesn't start.
Well, it's the vapors that start the fire with gasoline. You could take a match and dye it out in the puddle of gasoline.
I'm not going to argue like fire science, but you would have to go in there and put it at probably 50,000 degrees to get a tree to start on fire. Where do you get that kind of heat?
Well, an hour before,
because the guy threw a cigarette butt out the window. I'm sorry.
An hour before we came on the air, they were reporting. This is not me. They're reporting that they believe it started in someone's backyard. Now, yesterday I heard could have been one of those homeless camps. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Oh, I know yours.
How it started, I don't know.
Yours is source, right? Yours is source. Mine's perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
And whether or not you agree with mine, that's cool. Or it's not. I don't really care. I'm just telling you from my personal experience, trying to start stuff on fire is not that easy. You have to have the heat so freaking high that, it's not just done by accident. I'm not buying that.
Well, can't they seed the clouds now and make rain to put it out if they wanted to?
Exactly.
But it doesn't fit the agenda, does it?
Well, it's true. No. And there's a lot of other reasons why this is happening in the air. Charlie Kirk talked about it in the thing, these whole DEI hires and whatever.
Please.
Let me show you this clip here.
Who had not submitted their vaccination
face suspension and termination.
Check out this video about how many firefighters were fired because they didn't take the COVID vax.
Love my job. I feel like I poured my heart into it. I promoted to the rank of engineer. I got to drive the fire engine. Got to do a lot of amazing things, help a lot of people in the city.
It's a difficult day for Matt Mamone. After nearly 15 years of serving with the LA Fire Department, he was terminated for refusing to take the COVID vaccine without applying for a religious or medical exception. 113 LA city firefighters have been suspended without pay for defying the city's vaccine mandate. In November, firefighters who had not submitted their vaccination status or requested an exemption were informed they would face suspension and termination. Policy requires city employees to be vaccinated by December 18th. The fire department says firefighters who continue to resist the mandate will be entered into the process of termination.
Two things, Dave. Two things. A, I don't know if you saw the grand jury report out of the great state of Florida. You ought to get Joe Latipo to come in, or even DeSantis to talk about it. It even shocked me. And they are going to be taking some action as a result of what was uncovered about the vaccines and the shortcomings and the consequences in a grand jury legal setting. People will no longer be able to say it's not been proven, or the court of law hasn't seen this. They've now seen it. There's a big problem.
So that's, I mean, it's they don't have enough firefighters because they've gotten rid of them all.
Yeah, I mean,
what's that?
The corruption's so deep. I mean, they defunded the fire department, right? There's
17 million.
There's no water in the fire hydrants. Okay, like you could go on and on and on. Like, and this wasn't on purpose. Please don't start pointing fingers and blaming people. Kind of like, yeah, you just did all of this stuff, and nobody wants to take accountability for it because we didn't do it. It just happened. No, you did it. You did it. Okay, and it's very obvious what's going on. And honestly, it's very obvious why that state is like it is. It's those people are extremely liberal because they have been deceived by so much stuff. Okay, the natural disasters over there, the mudslides and the earthquakes, and now the fires and the high winds and all of this stuff, and we all know that you can, like Sal said, you could manipulate weather. So if there's fires, make it rain, be done with it. Well, no, we only manipulate it when we want to flood a state out, and we're not going to help them, but we're going to burn our state down. But we want the government to pay for all this shit. Do they really want the government's money, which is our money, to pay to fix their state, or do they want our money so they can put lawsuits against Trump, Well,
so, yeah, that's where they want the money.
It's all bullshit, okay? Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't believe in any of this. I'm at the point now where their mouth opens, and the only thing I hear coming out is a bunch of shit.
Like Don was saying, the governor the mayor cut $17 million out of the fire department's budget. And that is to help because the fire chief, the fire chief there, she's LGBTQ, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to invest their money and spend their money on DEI instead of the firefighting. So all this stuff is hurting them.
Yep. Yeah, there was a clip. I saw a clip.
I don't know if you guys know this. They're short equipment, too. Do you know why the fire department's short equipment?
Because they're sending it to Ukraine.
They sent it to Ukraine. That's it exactly. Yep. How do you like that? They sent a lot of their equipment to the Ukraine, and that's
why. How does that make any
hurt.
Sense?
I don't even know what to say. I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's why you were talking about Gavin Newsom. Trump on Truth Social asked him he should resign. He says, it's time for you to resign.
Well, that's when he said Trump should be more concerned with the schools burning and people's houses burning. Not. That's when he said this is not a time for blame. That's his only response to Trump.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, he's going to have to go to Trump and ask for money in a couple of weeks.
Correct.
So I don't know how that's going to work out. But
I don't want to change the subject on this, but all these liberal governors are talking about they're going to protect with everything they have with the illegal immigrants. Okay. So they're going against the government in all different ways. I don't see how these people are not going to go to jail. I don't see how it's not going to happen.
I don't know.
Well, they're going to go to jail, but they're also going to there's going to be issues there because of the fact that there's again, it comes back to the accountability always talking about. There's got to be accountability. So speaking of accountability, and I don't know if you know this, but the mayor of LA was in
Africa.
Guam somewhere.
Guam.
Yes,
Africa.
Yeah,
right.
she was in Africa because the president got appointed there.
Right.
Yep.
However, her president. So what the hell's? Why are we spending dollars?
Taxpayer money. Yes.
Taxpayer money to send her to go visit another country. Because that's where they're from. Give me a fucking break. Ghana, wherever.
Ghana. That's it. Ghana.
Yes. And the issue of it is that she left even after there were a week ago. There were warnings. They call them deadly Santa Ana winds. Well, why would winds be deadly? It's because of fires, because of this kind of stuff that happens. But
it
she left
isn't
anyway.
like this doesn't happen every year around the same time.
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
It's like we have hurricane season, and how many times do we hear, the fires or the mudslides in California? I mean, you could put it on a map. If I could put it on a map, how could the mayor of LA not know this?
Correct.
But she took her trip. But at least she was able to answer some questions, Marcus, confronted by Sky News.
Well, let me show you. I've got the clip here ready to roll.
Being absent while their homes were burning. Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
Look at her go. That's your leadership, California. That's your leadership, LA.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk
maybe
says
she's
that you're
jet-lagged
utterly
from her flight
incompetent.
back
Are you
from
considering your
Ghana.
position?
What do you have to say to your constituency? What do you have to say to your people?
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? You're dealing with this disaster.
Oh, this one's a good one right here. Watch.
Oh, look, she just got off the airplane, which is wild. I don't know how he's in there. Right, Tom? This is her.
Well, shout out to him for doing his job.
Oh, I love it.
Apologies.
No
apologies.
even
Do you think I should have been visiting Ghana when this was unfolding?
Guys, you can't hear. You guys are talking. Back up a little bit. I can't hear what he's asking.
You're just like, what the hell do you have
Go
to
back
say?
a little bit.
She has nothing to
Not
say.
that long. Go a little bit further down when she's asking about Ghana. Right there. Okay, play this and then we'll stop it. Go ahead.
No apology for them. Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana when this was unfolding back home?
I've never seen a politician just freeze up like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an incredible scene. When I seen that last night, I couldn't believe it. I mean, she just had nothing, guys, nothing. And at one point, she just looked at the wall.
Her body was taken over by aliens.
I mean, there's no words for that.
Right.
I mean, those guys were talking. They were kind of irritating me too. I wanted to hear the guy ask the questions, which I've heard before. But when you hear the Sky News reporter asking her point blank, she just would look at him, stare at him, then look away, and you're just sitting there going, "Is she not hearing them? What's going on?"
Did you? I don't know if you saw that. I think when she got back, she did a press conference.
Yeah,
and she was reading off a thing, and she says, "If you need to get emergency assistance, go to URL." How stupid do you have to be to not know that that's a placeholder for the website that you're trying to direct them to, not URL? I mean, get the fuck out of here.
Well, first of all, I don't think that's coming to mind that they're going to say, well, I think my house is going to burn down. Let me get online real quick. I mean, they're sending, I have somebody that I know in California who sent me pictures of his phone when he's getting the alerts and what they say. So why would you send somebody to a URL or a website when you would say, check your phone, heed the warning. If we have a mandatory evacuation, please listen and go.
Right.
And, this is working out so well with people that have EVs now, because if you're not fully charged, you're going to have to stop and charge that thing. It's bad enough. People are literally getting 5 minutes of warning.
Right.
They're getting a 5-minute warning to get out now. And they're leaving in their cars, and the cars, they're in big traffic jams. They're getting out of their cars and running because the fire's coming. So all the cars are stuck on the roadway. The city is using bulldozers to plow the cars off the road so the fire equipment can get through. I mean, it's a complete disaster out there because they weren't prepared. And even James Woods today, the actor, I seen an interview with him. He says, a fire truck pulled up in front of my house. He goes, and I thought, oh, thank God. The fireman said, hydrants are empty. We have no water.
No water.
They pay the highest taxes. They have no water. Nothing. That is what you call poor leadership. And Who's going to be held accountable for this? That's what I want to know. Because you know what's going to happen again.
The mayor of LA.
Well, I think she's done. Mayor Bass is done.
And maybe the police chief. Maybe quit worrying about what DEI hires you're getting out there, and go out and fucking hire people that can actually do the fucking job.
Well, I watched interviews with her from months ago where they're talking about bringing people in that are LGBTQ and everything. You know what? Fire doesn't care if you like guys or girls or what your pronoun is. Fire's going to come and kill you, kill your family, take your property. Correct. And this is what they're spending their money on. And this is what I put this on Facebook talking with someone. I just said that there are consequences to elections. We all know that. So do we blame the people? Who do we blame? I mean, I know we have the politicians, but who put them there?
That's if you believe in a fair election, right? If you believe the election's fair, then okay, it's the people. Okay, I don't think the last one was fair. So, but yeah, there is people. But what's funny when you stand back and look at the big picture, and again, this is perspective, so a lot of people could say you're full of shit, and that's fine. Is the leftists? They seem to like people that not only can't get the job done, but will refuse to get the job done and make it as bad as they possibly fucking can. Like the most incompetent person, that's our guy. We got to have that guy. Is this guy delirious? We got to have him. Is she an idiot? We got to have her. Like, I don't understand what they're trying to do. Why do they want all these complete freaking idiots that can't even put out a fucking fire?
I'll tell you exactly why. Because they are more concerned with these ideologies, these far out ideas versus getting the job done. That's why.
Well, their big thing all these years is your carbon footprint, right?
Yep.
LA,
big.
Well, guess what? Now, because of these fires, all the reduction they cut out of carbon in the last 3 decades combined is now all gone with the burning in the air. The air is toxic there. It's going to take months to clean what's going on there. So all those decades of carbon footprint and let's reduce the carbon is all gone to hell because of these fires. The carbon's even more so there now. So where did that get them?
And I don't know if you saw, there was Trump actually talked about this. I want to say this was 2016, 2018.
It was 16.
Where where he actually went out to and was in Finland, and and you got to remember, Finland is covered in forest, just like Estonia is covered. I mean, 70% covered in forest. They don't have this. Why? They have proper management.
Yep.
They clean up the brush. They do all these things. And so 8 years ago, Trump, who's going to be taking presidency in less than 10 days, I can't wait, or 12 days. And we can't get here soon enough. Basically,
he warned him.
He warned him.
He told him.
He told him. He told them what to do, and they still said, "No, we're not going to do it. We're going to protect the little little squirrel or mouse or whatever."
Protect the smelt and the trees.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolute insanity.
I don't understand how helping the environment by leaving the brush out. How does that help the environment? I don't get it.
Well, it protects. It gives the little critters a home to live in, and who knows what horse shit that they're going to. But yet, what about the people? How many? Because it's hitting Hollywood now, and yes, there's some people that are losing big homes, but there's people that have been living there for 30 or 40 years losing their homes. People, everyday people that just want to live life. They're losing the homes, and it's sad.
A lot of them don't have fire insurance either because they changed the laws and the insurance companies took off. Yep. So a lot of them don't have fire insurance, so they're out.
Or I even heard that some of the insurance companies are denying claims.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing happened in Florida with those hurricanes.
Yes,
People can't get that hurricane insurance anymore, and so all these properties that have had increased in value by so much, these people all thought, "Oh my God, we made all this money on the real estate." They can't sell them because nobody can buy them.
I wouldn't want to live there. No way.
Can't get insurance. Who's gonna? Next time, these knuckleheads decide to roll another hurricane through there, what's going to happen,
Did you guys get to see the clip yesterday of Biden addressing? He was at FEMA talking about this. Did you guys get to hear that clip?
I didn't see that one, no.
I watched the clip. He got up there and he said, first of all, he's giving another $500 million to Ukraine in weapons. Yeah, you heard me. Ukraine, another 500 million, he said today he's giving. But yesterday when he addressed it and he was at FEMA talking, first thing he said was, oh, my son's house is in danger. I don't know if it burned down, he goes, but I hear, fortunately, my son's house was saved. He goes, but on a good note, I did find out I'm going to be a great-grandfather again. 5 pounds, 7 ounces, like little girl. Says, that's what he said at the FEMA news. I'm not kidding, and safe needles to you. And everybody's in there going, oh,
they're all sterilized by the
really?
flames or what?
Time and place.
Bad enough they give that
Nobody
stuff.
cares,
Remember
but
when
it was all about him. They started
his
this needle
son's
program where they're giving
and then
out
he talked
needles
about
to
him
the
being
drug
another
addicts.
great-grandfather.
Yep,
This
I heard
is
that.
another grandchild. At least
how insane is that?
will acknowledge this
It's like,
grandchild.
well, they're
allow
going to
those people to
exchange dirty
reproduce.
needles, and that's going to promote the AIDS epidemic.
You know what?
So we're going to give
it
them
almost
clean
sounds
needles.
like I'm making it up because I don't like
see
that how that worked. But it was in Seattle, it was in Portland, Seattle, and Los Angeles was a big proponent of that. The needle exchange. You bring us your dirty needles, and we'll give you new ones, clean ones.
So when you support the people that don't want support and the people that are deteriorating themselves and everyone around them, these are the people you want to help. But the people that want to help themselves and they want to help others around them, those are the people that we're going to take away from. And that's what drives me nuts. I never, and we talked about this, I never cared about politics, government, any of that. I was ignorance is bliss. I'm off water skiing, snowboard. I'm going to ride my motorcycle. I'm going to have a great fucking life. I don't worry about this shit. And it really never affected me up until 2008 when Obama got in, okay? And shit hit the fan, and I lost all my real estate. I lost so much shit, okay? And the health insurance and everything went fucking sky high. Everything started going sideways. The stock market dropped from 13,000 down to 6,800. Everything was. They gave everybody a mortgage at 110% loan that didn't even qualify. Okay, and then everything falls apart. That's when it started. But then these last 4 years, okay, between the coronavirus, let's shut down the world. Let's make people wear masks. Let's poison them with the fucking shots. Let's fire them if they disagree. Let's find out the people that don't agree with our agenda and let's put them in jail. Now I'm into politics because I need this shit to stop. I need our fucking lives to get better, not worse. And too many fucking knuckleheads buy into this nonsense. And that's the thing that pisses me off. And that's the only reason I'm into politics. Otherwise, I give a shit. Sleepy Joe falling down the stairs and all these idiots.
No, he fell up the stairs.
Falling up the stairs, yeah.
He fell up the stairs. Let's be accurate, Don.
But the thing is when they're taking out of my pocket and destroying my fortune that I put together and destroying my family and destroying my friends and destroying my business, now all of a sudden politics are very important to me. Okay?
Well, yeah, because it's affecting you.
Yes.
And your loved ones in the future and everything else. Your quality of life has dropped. Our quality of life has dropped because of stuff like this, because of these far left leaders. You know, there was even a clip of Mayor Bass slamming Ted Cruz a year ago because Ted Cruz left during a bad snowstorm or something.
I remember that. Yeah,
there was
that freeze.
And she's slamming Ted Cruz. Well, she just did the same darn thing.
Well, I always say that the biggest complainers are the biggest offenders, okay?
Yeah.
And you know that being a cop, right? You know that. The guy that's always squawking is the guy that's pulling all the shit. And so, I go on and on with this
maybe,
topic,
well, yeah, we could go on for hours on this, but it's not going to do any good. It's not going to do any good.
But the only other thing that I want to say about that, about when I was talking about politics, it's not just me. It's our legacy that we're trying to create for our children, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
They're making it so there's going to really be no legacy for our children that we're going to create because they're going to strip all that and give all that money up to the very top. And they're doing that through the inflation and everything.
But you know what, though?
Else.
That's all changing.
I hope so. I hope so.
Overnight.
Knock on wood, knock on something.
You know what? The future's looking bright, and you know what? The best is yet still to come. And that's got to be our motto because you know what? Without hope, without a promise, I mean, look at all my great things has happened. He's not even in office yet.
I agree with that. I guess maybe I'm stressing a lot of frustrations. Okay.
Sure.
And the reason why I'm interested in politics, but I couldn't agree more with you that absolutely shit's going to hit the fan, and in a good way. Okay. I think the criminals are going to have to pay their dues.
They're going to run and hide. At least the migrants are. They're already stopping coming here because they know they're going to get in trouble and get sent back. Right. Like we said shows ago, why spend $10,000 to get your family out of Mexico if in a month you're going to come right back? But in case you guys are wondering, the $1 million seats are all sold for Trump's inauguration as of this morning because Chevron, Google, and Microsoft all donated $1 million apiece to the inauguration.
Well, so that saves me $1 million.
The $1 million seats are all taken. So I don't know, Marcus or Don, if you guys were, I was planning on getting a ticket to go. I wouldn't miss it, but now I can't. I don't want to sit in the back. What, it's going to be like a Taylor Swift concert? I'm going to sit all the way in the back and watch them on a Jumbotron?
Seats. Yeah, the bleachers. We'll get the bleachers. You get a free beer and a hot dog.
We got the nosebleed section.
Gentlemen, that is all I have on the fire, unfortunately. Now, could I talk more about it? Yes, but those are all.
Well, you know what though, I watched the report. I don't have all the details yet, so I have one more angle reason of why this is happening, which we'll talk about on our next podcast. Okay. And I'll bring you up to speed on it. I don't have enough information on it to be articulate so that it can make a difference for our viewers, but I will on our next show. So I'll do that. However, I always want to leave on a good note. So there's a phenomenal good note. I don't know if you guys heard this yet. And I'm going to share on the screen here. It's not a video. It's just a tweet that was sent out by none other than Riley Gaines.
I love her. She's great.
Huge win for girls and women everywhere. This morning, a federal court ruled in favor of reality. Biden's Title IX rewrite has been vacated nationwide.
Fantastic.
How awesome is that?
That's great. And anybody with a daughter should be for that, because it's terrible that these girls are getting bumped out by guys playing in girl sports because they couldn't make it in the guy sports.
Correct.
So that's a great thing.
It's huge.
She is
what
a
great
patriot.
Win.
She is a patriot. God bless that.
Well, she's a freedom fighter. And you know what? The best is yet to come.
Right now we're squawking, but I believe very soon we're going to be cheering and going, "Wow, isn't this great?" I really believe that
we're going to be reporting on the left attacking him. That's what we'll be reporting on, because it's going to be crazy how they are going to wage a war against him. And a lot of the people, and I think fortunately now, a lot of the stars, especially out in LA and Malibu and Palisade, are probably going to say, "Oh, wait a minute now. Government let us down." So I hope.
Exactly. Well, folks, we hope you liked what you heard here today. We're going to be bringing you more stuff, and it's going to be in good quality. We've gotten all the tech stuff ironed out. So if you liked what you heard here, please subscribe and share this podcast with someone you care about, someone you know, someone that would like to get different perspectives on the things that are happening in the world today. Because it's all about betterment.
Hit that bell so you get notifications of when we post new episodes, please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And subscribe and just share it with everyone. And until next time, we'll see you on Straight Up No Bullshit. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to the Straight Up No Bullshit, the Don Hansden Show. We hope we enlightened you and expanded your perspectives with our bold and honest discussions about what might be holding you back from being your genuine self. And with a simple click to subscribe, we'll invite you back to the next episode. If you want to know more, go to straightupnobullshit.com. We'll see you next time.